Hi, this is a brief tutorial on how to create a scrub top. You will have received your bundles now from the For Love of Scrubs project and we'll be ready to begin. The first two pieces you will need to begin with are your top left and top right sections on the front of the top. They get attached to the neck trim sections by a simple row of stitching and then overlocking. Okay, if you haven't got an overlocker, you use your zigzag stitch on your machine. If you have neither, then you just need to use pinking shears. Okay, if you do end up using pinking shears, just make sure that you do a very fine line of stitching just there to attach and fold back those two pieces. Once you've done that, you'll then move on to attaching these two sections here to the rest of the garment. Okay, so you fold this item onto this bit here, okay, lining it up from the armhole just over here. The left section goes on first, then you do the same with the right, laying it on top, aligning from the right hand side. These will overlap slightly at the front and they will be sealed together by a line of stitching, and then the raw edges again sealed together using either an overlocker, zigzag stitch, or if you haven't, use your pinking shears. Once they're attached, you finish off with a line of top stitching. This will just secure this yoke area. Okay, so once you've done that, we move down to the pockets. Your pockets are really easy. It's the top edge, you roll it 2 centimeters once, 2 centimeters twice, row of top stitching. Seal down the left, seal down the right. This is just to stop the edges fraying from inside the pocket. Use your overlocker or zigzag, whatever you've got, or just use your pinking shears. To actually find the placement, now some of your pattern pieces should have notches which basically sit at the bottom of the hem 2 inches in from the side. Okay, this helps you to know where you should put your sleeve. So you should go along 2 inches from the raw edge, find your notch, and that is the left side of your left pocket. Okay, if you go along as well, the same should happen on your right hand side. So where your raw edge or your raw side will be, come in 2 inches, and that is where the right hand side of your right pocket should sit. Okay, once you've found those positions, what you need to do is just pin them in place, tucking the pockets under by 1 centimeter, and then you do little bar tacks at the top or triangle stitches, which basically means you go up there, and then all the way down to the bottom. Okay, just making sure that the raw edges or the raw bottoms of your pocket line up with the raw hem of the actual garment itself. So once you've sewn both of your pockets in place, you're going to move on to your back section. Okay, now the back section is really easy. All you have to do is attach this back facing. So as you can tell here, all it is a very basic piece. You either zigzag it or overlock it, or use your pinking shears. You sew the 2 layers together, surface to surface, and then to face them out, can you just see there? If I hold up to the light, you can just see on these curves inside the seam allowance has been snipped. You can just see it through there. Okay, excuse the state of my fingers. If you look, you can just see I've had to put little notches on this bend. So when you face out those 2 layers, they can bend nicely and sit flat like that. Once you've done that, you turn it out and you basically put a line of stitching all the way round. Okay, this secures that back neck facing and ensures that it doesn't flap around. Don't forget to add one of your little labels in the centre back. So now you've got a front and a back, you can put the 2 together. This is the same thing. Okay, you align at the neck, 1 row of stitching, seal your raw edges together, and then you have a line of top stitching just along the shoulder line, just to keep it in place and keep it reinforced. Now you've got a front and a back and they're sealed at the shoulders, you move on to your sleeves. Don't waste too much time thinking about getting it all in there. If it doesn't go, don't panic. Okay, as long as your notches, which should be on these items here, okay, so on your sleeve piece and your 2 front and backs, if they don't match up completely, please don't panic. The most important thing is, if you were to put your sleeve in half and mark halfway up the sleeve, is that bit there meets your shoulder. Okay, when you come down and you've pinned it all in place, if you should end up with a tiny bit of an overhang here, just this section here, don't worry about it, okay? As long as the sleeve is in and safely, again, 1 row of stitching, seal your raw edges exactly the same as everywhere else. Seal them up with either an overlock or a zigzag stitch or pinking shears. If you do pinking shears though, do try and seal it with either an extra row of stitching or just a very small line of top stitching, okay? What you then want to do is pin your front and back together, okay? So on the inside, it will look like this, okay? Really nice and simple. Make sure your junctions meet there at your under your arm, okay? Again, 1 row of stitching, overlock or zigzag or pinking shears, because after you've put the 2 sections together, front and back, you're going to be giving it a nice row of top stitching from the sleeve right the way down to the hem, okay? Once you've done that, you can then hem the bottom, which is 2 centimetre, 2 centimetre, and then you sew. All right, so it's 4 centimetres in total in your hem. Really nice and simple. This also seals up the bottom of your pockets, and the same with your sleeves. Really simple. Turn 2 centimetres once, turn 2 centimetres twice, and you get a nice rolled finish on your armholes, okay? Really nice and simple. Your finished garment should look a little something like that, hopefully a little less crease than mine, but do be careful not to press as you go along. You can use a gentle press, but don't steam, because what that will do is it will shrink up some of your garment pieces and make it harder for you to put together, okay? Should you have any queries, please get in touch with your technical experts. If you have any issues with your bundles, get in touch with headquarters. All right, hope this made sense. Good luck. Speak to you all soon.